Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here today. If you're a fan of a good mystery, and especially if you appreciate a gorgeously atmospheric visual puzzle, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving into a single, masterful piece of artwork that acts as one giant, intricate riddle. But we aren't just looking for the answer, we're really going to focus on how the core process works. We're breaking down exactly how text and imagery combine to basically hack our brains and guide us toward a hidden truth. So get comfortable and let's unravel this beautifully illustrated enigma together.
Okay, let's jump right in with the ultimate question that anchors this whole investigation. What am I? Three simple words, right? But they instantly trigger that natural human instinct we all have to solve, categorize, and just make sense of things. This question is the engine driving our entire investigation today. Every single clue, every tiny brushstroke we're about to look at is specifically designed to answer this one fundamental question.
Just take a second to really marvel at the full scope of our challenge in this rich cinematic artwork. I mean, it's moody, it's evocative, and it's literally dripping with secrets. Now, to solve a complex visual riddle like this, we need to rely on a solid process of isolation and synthesis. Trying to take the whole thing in at once? Total overload. So our investigative mission is to break this process down. We're going to isolate each panel, extract the textual clue, analyze the visual environment, and then synthesize all those findings to build an airtight profile of our mystery subject. Let's get right into it. Clue 1. Voiceless storyteller. The text for our first clue reads, "I have no mouth, yet I can tell a story." I want you to really chew on that paradox for a second. How exactly does the process of storytelling work without a voice or breath or, a physical mouth to actually speak the words? We're obviously looking for something inanimate, something physically silent, but somehow capable of conveying these vivid, sprawling narratives. It's a pretty powerful contradiction, right? Now think about how the visual environment brilliantly reinforces that text. We're in a classic shadowy library setting. Notice those gorgeous golden sunbeams piercing through the window on the right? They're perfectly illuminating those swirling dust motes in the air. The atmosphere is just heavy with silence. Nobody is speaking here. The visual design actually makes you feel the quiet, and it points us toward an object that lives in quiet places, yet somehow contains loud, vibrant worlds. Moving on to Clue 2. Legless Traveler. I have no legs, yet I can travel the world. So we need to add this second filter to our profile. Our mystery object has no mouth, and now it has no legs. It's entirely immobile on its own. Yet somehow it possesses this magical ability to cross oceans, borders, and continents. How does something that literally cannot walk take us on a global journey? Check out this sprawling, epic sunset vista. The visual storytelling here is just fantastic. Over on the left, we've got the ancient, weathered pyramids of Egypt. Then, completely seamlessly, the landscape transitions across a body of water right to the Eiffel Tower in Paris, all set against a glowing, modern city skyline. This juxtaposition of ancient and modern, cramming completely distinct geographical locations onto one single horizon, visually explains exactly how the travel process works for our mystery object. It isn't about physical movement, it's about transporting the mind across time and space instantly. Clue 3. Centuries and cinders. I can live for centuries or disappear in a fire. Wow, that is a stark, poetic contrast. We're dealing with an object that has unbelievable longevity. I mean, it can outlast human lifespans and endure for hundreds of years. But at the exact same time, it possesses this terrifying fragility. It can be wiped out in an absolute instant by just a simple spark. This clue poses a fascinating question for us. What object bridges the gap between near immortal preservation and instant ashen destruction? This part of the image is brilliantly divided into 4 vertical slices. It's almost like a montage of time and environment. On the far left, you see an imposing, enduring stone castle up on a cliff. Next to that, a wooden sailing ship braving some rough seas. Then, the quiet, empty desks of a modern classroom. These first 3 slices clearly represent endurance, history, and the passage of knowledge through centuries. But then, look at the final slice on the far right. A cozy armchair, heavily shadowed, sitting perilously close to a roaring, destructive fireplace. The imagery masterfully balances that heavy weight of history with the immediate threat of fire, perfectly mirroring the text we just read. And now, the final reveal, putting the pieces together.
Let's summarize our constraints to see how this logic flawlessly compounds. Step 1, it tells a story but has no mouth. Step 2, it travels the world without legs. Step 3, it outlives centuries but dies easily in a fire. Now, the key to solving any riddle, the actual process of deduction, is finding that single point of intersection for seemingly impossible contradictions. What is silent but speaks, immobile but travels, ancient but highly flammable?
Take one last second. Lock in your guess. The answer to our ultimate visual riddle is a book. It fits so beautifully, doesn't it? When you apply the answer to the constraints we just analyzed, the sheer brilliance of the riddle unlocks. A book physically has no mouth, but it contains thousands of voices and stories. It has no legs, but reading it transports you from the pyramids to Paris with just the turn of a page. A well-kept book can survive for centuries in a dusty library, passing down knowledge through generations, kind of like those castles and ships we saw, but its paper pages can vanish into ash in mere seconds if dropped into that roaring fireplace. The text and the visual atmosphere were working in perfect harmony this entire time. And that brings us to the final dark, misty, and smoky visual that initially asked us, what am I? Now, instead of just some confusing void, this atmospheric smoke feels like the lingering magic of a story just told. Or, maybe it's the literal smoke of the fragile paper we were just talking about. Either way, it serves as an incredibly satisfying visual sign-off to our completed investigation. So the crucial takeaway from this explainer isn't just the answer itself. It's a real appreciation for how powerful a vessel a simple bound stack of paper truly is, and how the core process of blending art and text can create such an engaging mystery. A book is literally a quiet time machine, a motionless teleporter, and a fragile vault of human history. I want to leave you with this final thought. Knowing the incredible contradictory power held within those silent pages, what journey will your next page take you on? Thank you so much for joining me on this visual adventure today. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.